HHDG.
Peace, HHDG. We're on another HHDG Media podcast. And shout out to everyone always tuning in through our YouTube channel, as well as our Facebook group, HHDG. For everyone, thank you. You know, it's been a long journey, and we appreciate everyone that's continuously tuning in, those that, giving us our props. And you can always check us out on social media. We're on Twitter, Instagram, and we also have our website, as you can see on the bottom banner, hhdgmedia.com, which has some of our previous written interviews, as well as our merchandise, music that's out there, as well as upcoming events. This is always made possible through our company, HHDG Media Inc., which is our 5 owners, Rock Vader KB, T. Smith, the Mayor, Skelly Top, and myself, Wiki. Now for tonight, we have, a really dope, versatile producer who I think is one of those best kept secrets that, he puts out ill projects and they never sound the same. He can have some ill samples as well as just keeping it cinematic and still have that thump to it. Or it could just be, just driven with some ill instrumentation in the samples. Now, with his latest album that dropped this Tuesday, July 22nd, called Way of the Gunz, he basically made it, sound like a film to me, in my personal opinion, and it has that cinematic feel. And along this journey throughout the entire album, he brought the family, 6 Man Entertainment, as well as his fam from North Carolina, and also some other members, that he's worked with, I'll say collaborated with throughout the years. But one key person that I've always seen him work with, and I know they got a great friendship, and that's Poe Mac, who, big shout out to him. He's always doing this thing. And again, continuous recovery going on right now with him. So big salute to Poe Mac. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce repping Virginia and also the Bronx, Van Gunz.
Hey, how's it going, man? Peace.
Peace. Good. Good to see you.
You too, brother.
This I don't know the new album, but almost every project you do is I would say is family oriented with people that you've continuously worked with, whether it be, like I mentioned, Poe Mac, artists from North Carolina, as well as 6 Man Entertainment.
Yeah, definitely. I mostly just work with people I know personally. Mm-hmm. So it's like, the people on the album I have relationships with, like I see in person for the most part, especially, the Carolina Collective, Virginia. Me and Poe Mac are best friends. I mean, the guy was the best man at my wedding. So we're that tight. So it's like, I'm branching out more, but a lot of the people I work with are people I've met in person or just good vibe with. Just, that's the main thing. If you can't, you want to work with people you feel comfortable with. I feel that's how I get the best music out.
I agree with that. And, with your production, I don't know, how you approach it, but I always feel that you have a nice way of layering your production without it sounding stagnant and also at the same time, when you run it back, sometimes I hear certain things that I didn't hear the first time. And I'm an instrumental head, and sometimes I wish that I could just zone out and listen to the instrumentals. But when you create your production, how does your mind work?
To me, less is more. I don't try to overcomplicate it at all. I'm not a guy that's gonna try to chop 47 different records and put it into one record.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's an art. People do it and it sounds great. That's just not me. I'm not. I chop, but I like to find grooves in records. Like I like to find a loop, because to me, I feel like if you could find a good loop, and you're already grooving to it. So it's like that's my. To me, that's what works for me, really.
I feel you on that. Cool. Now, how long have you been in Virginia?
I've been in Virginia probably since 92, 93.
Okay.
1993, yeah. So I spent my first 20 years living in New York and then moved down here.
Gotcha. And for most people, I know a lot more people in the North move south at some point in their life. I got a lot of family members that I grew up with, and they either live in Georgia, North Carolina, or Florida. And all my grandparents are either from the South or from Caribbean islands like St. Thomas and St. Croix. So it's like a little reversal now going on.
Yeah. For like all my family still lives pretty much up in New York. I'm the only one that lives down here. It's
okay.
Yeah, so like for me, it's the opposite. I was like the lone wolf came down here. Everybody else still lives up there.
All right.
Yeah.
And when did you meet up with Poe Mac? Tell us that story.
I met up with Poe through another guy I was friends with that was rapping at the time. I was DJing. I started off as a DJ. So started off DJing in New York, moved down here, had DJ equipment, met a guy. I was doing some DJ, we was putting, nothing really serious. The kid could rap really good. And then he met Poe Mac through somebody else, and then they became a group. So I just started going around and hanging out with them. Then, everybody started not dying off, but everybody started, peeling off. And then what was left was just like me and Poe Mac. So we just started, getting up all the time, hanging out. Next thing you know, we're best friends. We're both rapping in a group together. I was rapping for a while, and then it just took off from there. So that's probably about 97, 98. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope, man. And how was the scene down in Virginia around that time?
There wasn't really a scene around here. Just a couple, there was little pockets of people that rap.
Mm-hmm.
But they weren't, everybody was just like an open mic type of thing. There was a few people here, maybe 3 or 4 groups that kind of took it seriously.
Yeah.
So like for us to like when at first we were renting a spot to throw shows. We couldn't even get in a regular venue. We had to rent a spot. It was just like a little place. It was like a little hall that lets you put on functions if you pay them. And then we brought our own drinks and was selling drinks and putting on our own little shows. And then from there, finally somebody gave us a shot at a venue. Then we got lucky. Our local newspaper did like a 6-page spread on us, on me and Poe, and then that kind of opened some more doors to some venues around here.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Dope. The thing about Mac is, I remember when I interviewed. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
What were you gonna say? Oh, I was gonna say Pomac has always been driven like to promote, and I've noticed that he's really good at making sure that he has places to perform at and also network with throughout Virginia. And I'm just wondering how you are as well. You know, with that being that the two of you got a friendship, I'm sure if you weren't already like that, or maybe a little bit of it from him rubbed off on you.
Oh, I mean, we kind of go hand in hand business wise. We do a lot of our businesses together.
Mhm.
He's more of the front person. I'm more of the behind the scenes type of person. Kind of like I would say when we first started getting out there, he would always do the like he I would be the one that kind of, this is like back in the MySpace days. So
Okay.
I would go on MySpace. I would look at other areas that probably about 2 to 3 hours from where we were, and I would kind of just see who was doing what. I would tell him, and he would reach out to these people and talk to them and set up gig trades, and that's how our network really started. Was back from the MySpace days, talking to people on MySpace, saying, "Hey, you bring us out there, we'll bring you here." And then that's really how our whole network started.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Anyone tuning in, that's definitely some jewels right there to learn from.
Oh man, we would drive 3 to 4 hours just to go shake a hand. You know, just shake a hand and make an introduction and be like, you know, hey, this is what we're about. You want to come to where we're at? Bring us down here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's how it really, that's how we got started, man. And we built a whole network through the whole East Coast that way.
Definitely. Because if, I mean, you want to get heard, you gotta put in that work, and I appreciate hearing stories like that, because I think far too many people are so gung ho on just trying to get a deal so much now and have everyone else do it, but you really gotta put in that work. It's not just if you're good lyrically or if you're good at production, that's all you need to do. There's a lot more to it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What do you recall one of your first production network that you've done?
I did. It was, I made this beat for a local cat named Marciano probably back in the late '90s, early 2000s. I was just messing around.
Mhm.
I was just messing around on Pose equipment. He was just showing me a couple of things, and I made this beat called Laser. He called it Laser Storm. Now these guys are like really Wu-Tang influenced. So I mean, I guess that's where that's why they had that. That's where they used the name. But I mean, they would perform it. People around here locally, they loved it. Man, they loved it. So I did that, and then I probably didn't even. I wasn't even trying to produce, to be honest with you, for that amount of time. I didn't really get serious into production until COVID,
Okay.
because we was locked in. I just said, "Hey, I'm gonna buy a beat machine." Because
So,
even like when like I rapped for a long time and DJ'd, so like on a lot of my rap records, I was always good at finding samples,
mhm.
but I didn't know how to put them together.
Okay.
So I'd go to Poe and be like, "Hey, I think this would sound good." I'd have an idea, he'd have an idea, he'd hook it up, he chopped it up or did what he did and put it together. I like like we are really tight, man. Me and him, like I said, it's more than just business
Just music.
partners,
Yeah,
friends. Like
yeah.
I mean, the guy was like I said, the best man at my wedding. So it goes further than that. So
That's dope. And
yeah.
shout out to Pomac tuning in as well. Man. So you said around COVID is when, you started with the production. What I know a lot of people during that time put forth a lot of effort to learn something new. Um, and you already had Pomac, who knows he's diverse when it comes to the music. But what was the initial spark that wanted you to start the production?
Well, a lot of our stuff was stage. I enjoyed performing, not so much putting out albums. That was the necessary evil, but it was always about performing, getting on stages. That's what I enjoyed the most. COVID took that away. So then it was like, I didn't really want to rap anymore. I couldn't DJ
Mm-hmm.
so I just started, I bought a beat machine. I was like, man, let me start, thinking, oh, let me see if I can get the hang of this and make some beats. I always had interest in it. I always like when Poe would make beats, I would watch them, and ask questions. And then I was, my attention span is like the worst when it comes to things. So I'd watch, but then like I don't really want to put the time in. Well, COVID forced you to put the time in.
Right.
So that's really how it went. And I say now, like I make beats on a Native Instruments machine, and I know the program in the machine good enough to make beats how I like to make it. So I probably only know about 10% of how to use this thing. Compared to someone who probably knows all the ins and outs.
Right.
Yeah. I know good enough to know how I want it to rock, and that's it.
But yet you still learn. That's the important part.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to NJ to AK tuning in as well.
That's what's up. Peace.
So when it comes to the intricate part of your production, how does one know, because you already had the experience with the MCing and production, which is definitely a plus when it comes to the production. So how do you know how to put everything together now, and also have a great mentor in Poe Mac along your side as well?
Well, putting together beats, it's kind of like, it's almost like counting bars. So a rapper would appreciate this. Like, if you can count bars, you can make beats. Everything was like a 4 count to me. I'm some people make it like I said, some people overcomplicate beat making. They're phenomenal at it. I try to make it as simple as possible for me. I'm more just try to find. I'm more try to find records people don't use, parts of records people don't use. I do a lot of pitching on things. So it's like, I might use the same record 20 other people use, but you probably, you might not even realize it, because I done instead of leaving it at the tempo it was, I done down pitched it 10 BPMs. just little things like that, just to make it stand out.
Right.
I time stretch everything. So it's never the original the way it's played. That's just one. I don't know if everybody does that, but that's just, I know when I make beats, I don't care if the record's already 92 BPM. I'm probably gonna take it down to 82, just so it has a different uniqueness to me.
Got you. Yeah. Often on the Gun Control album that you dropped about 2 years ago, I noticed there was certain samples on there that I heard, but again, of how you manipulated it to your skill set.
Yes.
And it wasn't obvious on a lot of them. You got to really pay attention on certain tracks.
Now, compared to, I feel I'm a way better beat maker than I was 2 years ago when it comes compared to Gunz Control. Those are like, even like the mount, like we was talking before, like the Mountain God beats. Those are like some of the first beats I made. I'm one of those ones I can't. if it don't sound right to me in the first 10, like if it doesn't sound like it could be something in the first 5 minutes,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll just move off the sample and move to the next thing.
Okay.
I just don't. I'm not. I don't make beats every day. Like there's some people that go in and make beats every day. I'm just I work full time. I have a 7-year-old kid,
I hear you.
so it's like the last thing I don't have time. I mean, this is this is around the time I make beats at night. Between now until the time I go to bed, probably around 9:30 to about 11. It's usually when I try to get it in, maybe twice a week. But in that twice a week, man, if I get hot, I can make 5 6 beats in a night. So it just. And then there'll be some nights I'll be sitting down here for an hour, nothing. I'll just go through a bunch of stuff and nothing will come together, and I don't try to force it. It's if it's not if I can't get it the way I want it, I'm done.
You're done.
I just sit. I just walk away.
Okay. Do you delete it, or do you ever come back?
No, I delete it.
You do
I
okay.
don't. Yeah, nah, I don't. I don't. it's probably not. I probably should save some of these things, but it's just like if I can't if I hear it and I can't manipulate the way I want it to manipulate it, I'm just like I just rather wash my hands of it and just go on to something else.
All
Because
right.
if not, I'll be there for 2 hours trying to get it, and I still won't get it, and then I just wasted 2 hours of my time.
All right.
Me, time's the most valuable thing, my friend. If it,
Very true.
I don't waste people's time, and I try not to waste my own time, and let alone someone else's.
Yep. You get to appreciate more as you get older. I understand
Exactly.
more now too.
Exactly.
Yep. Speaking of manipulating and chopping, I have to talk about what you did on "This Is Him" track off of Mountain God, because everybody knows that sample from Camp Low.
Yeah.
But what you did with it is not something I've heard often, and not too many people touch that sample either.
Well, now it's like that's kind of like the in thing to do is like sample the old hip hop records, and people like bringing them back now. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't sample. I mean, I sampled the original record. I didn't sample the Camp Low.
Right.
These younger guys now. They're actually sampling the hip hop record,
Yeah. Yep.
and it's kind of like and they're just looping and putting a different drum under it. I mean, but I did. Yeah, man. I like I said, if I like a sample, I don't care who used it. I'm gonna try to do it my own way, and just I'm not. I don't make beats for other producers,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense.
Okay.
There's a lot of people that don't. Oh, I won't touch that sample because so and so touched that sample, and then, I don't care about that stuff. I'm not a producer elitist like that. I'm gonna just do it, and if people, I'm making people. My goal when I make beats is to get people to rap on 'em. I don't. That's why I'm not a beat battle guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big beat tape guy. Nothing wrong with that stuff. That's just not what I'm into. I want to hear people make. I want to hear people rap on my beats.
Yeah, I got you.
That's why I try to keep them. I try to keep them dope, but don't overproduce them. Because once you start overproducing them, people gonna be like, "Yeah, I like the beat, but I didn't like because you did 9 change ups over here in the verse or something like that." Nah, man, I want people to rap on them, and you know, it's just I enjoy seeing my name in the credits as someone rapped on one of my beats and put it out.
I feel that. Being that you have a background in DJing, tell us about what you did during DJing and what was one of your strengths, because we got people that are great at cutting, transitions, scratching, beat juggling. What was your thing?
Dan, and I wasn't a scratcher.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. I started DJing more because I was tour DJing for Poe.
Okay.
At the time. I was a tour DJ, but the good thing I did was I learned how to read a room. to play joints at the right time.
That's the key thing right there. Yeah.
You know, and I could blend records, and I never. Just another thing, just like DJing, it was like I never overcomplicated things. Like even like some of the mixtapes I put out, very simple blends, just to keep everything moving. You know what I'm saying? Just with DJing, everything's about reading the room. If you can't read a room and you're just gonna play stuff that you just want to, don't play don't play the best records at 9 p.m.
Oh no. Yep.
But people do that.
I know.
And then by 11 o'clock they're playing the record again.
Yeah.
It's like, you got to know when to play what. I guess that's with DJing. That's to me, that's the biggest thing is reading the room and knowing what to play when.
Yep.
Because if you hit on it, it's the best experience DJing in the world.
Oh yeah.
When you playing stuff and everybody's moving and you playing the right record after the right record after the right record, and just everybody's having a good time and people are talking about, yo, this is dope. This best feeling in the world.
Yep.
Now
live in that moment.
Now if you're off, people just looking at you. They're just looking at you like you're crazy. That's the worst.
Yep.
I've had that happen once or twice too when I first started. But it's like, one of the first shows I DJ'd, I DJ'd for Keith Murray.
Okay, nice.
He was in town. Poe was on the show. He wasn't traveling with a DJ. I DJ'd for him. Went really well. He invited me to go out on tour with him. Didn't want to pay me, but he wanted me to go out on tour with him. So I was like, yeah, I can't do that. But I mean, it was a good experience. It gave me a lot of confidence. First time out there, I'm DJing on some Newmark CDJs. And then it's like, you're DJing for Keith Murray. And, then the guy's, he has his manager calling me the next day talking about, you sure you don't want to go with us? You sure you don't want to go with us? I'm like, yeah, it's tempting, but I got to make a living, my friend. But yeah, I gained a lot of confidence with that.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I learned DJing from my uncle, and that was one of the things that he always said, not just about reading the room, but also knowing the genres of music. So, you can't just say I'm a hip hop DJ. No, you need to know all types of music. And of course, if you play in a certain venue, again, you got to know the crowd.
Exactly. Some of my best nights is when I was playing 80s records. Just like a set of 80s music. Because it just went right with, where we live, it's just mostly cover band, white folks and cover bands. So you get in them type of situations. It's like you always got to have that stuff to pull out. But yeah, man, and it's like you start playing that 80s music once everybody starts drinking, then you kind of glide into the hip hops, into like your Snoop Dogs and stuff, and everybody's having the time of their life.
Yeah,
man.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So growing up, what genres of music did you listen to?
Man, everything was influenced by my mom growing up. So it was she listened to she had a nice vinyl collection.
Nice.
So she like Billy Joel, Rolling Stones, Beatles, then Meatloaf. That was like our favorite record, Meatloaf, Bad Out of Hell. Yeah, that was her favorite record of all time. So it was a lot of that stuff, and then it was just like when I was like probably 9 or 10, I was just flipping through the radio one day. It was late at night on a Friday night. WBLS. You're a New York head, you know.
Yep.
Between that and like Kiss, and I would record the shows, and then it was like I just was like I was I grew up in a regular neighborhood, mostly white kids because that's what we were. But I was the only hip hop head, and people didn't understand. It was like I would just stay up late just to listen to this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it was like,
Can't replace that feeling.
oh man, it was like because nobody else was doing it, so it felt like it was like my own thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like, nobody else is doing this around me. Nobody's staying up on these Friday and Saturday nights listening to stuff. And I would just record it, and then I would just listen to it all week long to the next show, record the next show. And then I would, oh man, it was the best.
Yeah.
It was the best. And then it's the songs now, like, what's it? Pee Wee Herman, yeah, that, and then I remember this. They did a song. I can't remember who the group was. They did a song about the TV show Dynasty. I can't remember who it was, but it was like it's like one of the earliest songs I remember. And they would play it on they would play it on BLS like every week. And the guy is just talking about the show Dynasty. My mom used to watch the show, so that's why it was like amazing. Like, this dude's rapping about a show my mom watches. It's just, I was like, yeah, dude, that's what hooked me about a show about Dynasty. These guys rapping about a show about Dynasty, and then I was hooked. I was a hip hop head ever since.
It is.
Yeah. I know.
Man, you bringing back memories because there was a time where when I was in high school, it was almost like a battle of who recorded what show and who had the exclusive joint that was being played and shared on people's Walkmans at the time.
Oh yeah. Nah, man, yeah, nah. That's just, and then it's like, after that, then the mixtapes got popular a few years later. Ugh, I miss mixtapes. I miss going to Fordham Road and buying mixtapes, man. That was like my favorite thing to do. But yeah, good old days.
Yeah, I used to head down to downtown Brooklyn.
Okay.
Yeah, hop on the Staten Island Ferry and go straight on the R train, end of the R train, downtown Brooklyn.
Yeah. Yeah, no, see, Bronx Kid, Fordham Road, that was our spot, man. Go down Fordham Road, there's Beach Street, go right downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I just started DJing probably around 90, 91. So I'm not only buying mixtapes, I'm buying vinyl there. I mean, I'm probably spending a couple $100 every time I walk in that store. Twice a week. I mean, ridiculous.
Now, you mentioned your mom had an extensive vinyl collection. Do you have it now?
No, I don't know. I don't know what happened to her vinyl records after she passed. I think my sister probably has them or had them at one time, and she probably got rid of them. But because she's 7 years younger than me, so she wasn't as into it as I was.
Okay.
So, but yeah, no, I have my own little vinyl collection. It's mostly for sampling purposes, but yeah, I buy some, like I buy some records. I'm more of a now. If it's not old stuff, I just underground hip hop now. I don't listen to any kind of. And I hate to say this, I'm like a hip hop elitist, a hip hop snob with a lot of I'm into like a lot of the Toronto guys now, but a lot of it's East Coast based.
Mm-hmm.
Probably towards the late '90s, I stopped listening to West Coast. I never listened to down south music. I just went more I just went more towards the underground stuff in the 2000s.
Gotcha,
More of
gotcha.
that and just East Coast stuff because just it was the sound I was raised on. So I never. But for DJing purposes, you gotta play everything. But
Yep.
unfortunately, you gotta play some things you don't like sometimes. But it's
Always,
what it
yep.
is.
Gotta
Yeah,
keep it open. Yeah, what's popping at the time.
yeah.
Shout out to NJ the AK. He said that the song you're talking about is Dynasty Rap by Dynasty and Mimi.
Okay. Now, I'm about to look that up. I haven't heard it in years. But yeah, that's the jam, man. Oh man, I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna have to look that up when we get off here.
Yeah, yeah. Dope, dope. Now tell us how, I mentioned in the intro, you pretty much have the family on Way of the Guns. Tell us how you met one of my good peoples, Seven the Panther. You got other people from North Carolina like Ilpo.
Oh
Tell us
yeah.
how you met them.
Let's see. How did I meet Seven? I met Seven through another guy in Carolina named Ty Brew. He's a guy he's out of Asheboro. Very, very, very cool guy, good guy. That's how I met Seven. And like me and Seven go back probably at least 15 years now. So and then we've done a bunch of shows together, rap shows, like me
Mhm.
rapping. Like so it's like Ilpo the same too. It's like, like I said, a lot of these guys I've known Ilpo for about 15 years. The Mad Assassin, 15 years.
Oh yeah, another.
Because he went to school in Carolina. So I know him, even though he lives in LA,
Mhm.
I know him through North Carolina people.
Yeah.
OC from NC. Probably not as long. I probably know him about 10 years. So yeah. And we live in Virginia, but I live an hour away from Greensboro.
Right.
So it's not a far drive. So it's like, that's how went down there, shook a couple hands, got on a couple shows,
Mm-hmm.
and this is how I just networked through everybody. That's how I just met everybody, became friends. Like I said, me and Seven got a project we're putting out together here soon.
Ooh, okay.
It's
Nice.
done. It's done. He's had the beats for about a year, and I think he said all the files that they just need to be mixed now. They're sitting in my Gmail. So yeah, I'm sure
Definitely look forward to that.
probably work on a pro. Me and Ilpo probably work on a project together here soon. Me and OC from NC put out a project. I think last year. Yeah, last year we have a project together out.
That's
So
dope. That's dope.
yeah,
And who else? Jamal Matters, another one.
I met him. Now him I met through. I got a buddy named DJ Samps. He's a radio DJ on Duke University.
Mm-hmm.
He has a radio show out there. Real good guy. I met him through the Carolina scene. He's the one that put me on to Jamal Matters. So I went out. I seen him. Not this last year's Shrimp and Grits Festival that they put on out there in Greensboro. I met him. I was like, yeah, I thought he was really dope because Samps had put me onto his music. I'd been listening to him, and I just like how he moves, man. I like how he promotes his stuff. I just there's something about him. You know what I'm saying? Like when you hear him, you just like, oh, he got it, and his promo game is tight. And he just so we just talked about. I did a remix to one of his records and put it on, and I put it on his little EP I put out of just remixes called the Babylon Club.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's how. So we did that. Always kept in touch through Instagram or whatever. And then I had told him I was working on this project would he be interested in putting something down on it? He was like, yeah. Actually, he did 2 songs. I kept one song off because we're going to use it for something else.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, and then we had him up here for a show 2 months ago. So, yeah, the last time I seen him was like 2 months ago. So, yeah. Like I said, man, I like to work with people. It's not about just being the internet and the email and I never see you. I want to work with people I know.
Not just business, yeah, and
Yeah.
that creates a better chemistry overall, not just for that one track or that one project. And
Yeah,
look at your catalog, it shows.
yeah. I'm just trying to keep up the standard that everybody else in 6 man's done setting this year with this record. I mean, we've been on nothing but heaters here, man, since the beginning of the year.
Absolutely.
So I'm just hoping this one just keeps up the standard of what everybody else has been pointing out.
Yeah, it's definitely pushing it, and that's a great transition to talk about with 6 Man Entertainment.
Oh yeah, man. You ain't seen nothing yet, man. Man. We ain't missed. We ain't missed since the middle of last year, man. We just been nothing but threes, brother. We just ran into threes on them.
Yep.
It ain't stopping. I can tell you that. I can tell you it ain't stopping.
I mean, I think this is just a glimpse of what we're about to get. We already got your project this week, Jukes Diamonds project. Katrina P has an EP and an album this year. Bad Seed has multiple projects. Excel dropped at the top of the year.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna sneak in another one, just so you know. That's on top of I have a couple others that I did for people. I got a couple other, like I said, the one with 7. I know that's coming this year. I got another one with this guy Impulse. Very dope.
It's with an E, right? EM.
Yes.
Yep.
So we got that. That one's done. It's mixed. That's probably maybe September. I think we're working that out now, and he's out of Virginia, so we'll probably get up and do some shows together on that one. So it'll be some live shows with that one. 7 too if he makes it to the East Coast. So
I hope so. I got to link up with him again. Last time I saw him was when I went down to Greensboro a few years ago.
Okay, yeah. I know he's talking about coming to the East Coast here soon. So hopefully we'll see.
Indeed.
But yeah, 6 man. Monsters. Everybody's a monster. It's we just heating up. I'm gonna say that. I know Excel got a couple of projects coming. He got one coming with Shay Cobain. That's gonna be crazy.
Ooh.
I think me and him got one coming. I'd probably say I don't know if it's gonna come this year, but it might. I mean, he has the beats, and I still got more to send him. So, and Seed's working on stuff. I know Honey got a couple of joints coming.
Yep.
So yeah,
man.
I think Meg's working on her project. Like how I put out, I think she's putting out one. So yeah, we coming.
No slouching whatsoever.
No.
Heat.
4 Finger Ring 3. I know that's on the docket.
Oh my goodness.
Crazy.
But we are here. We definitely got to talk about the fam, but we are here to talk about also your new project, Way of the Gunz.
Yep.
Tell us how you wanted to approach this, when it came to creating the title, the ill artwork that you have, and then just overall
Well,
What
the
was your
song.
mindset?
Okay, so this project actually had a different. It was going a whole different direction in the beginning. I had a whole different title for it, different artwork, but I felt like it wasn't fitting with how the vision I had for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd always been a big fan of this movie called The Way of the Gun.
Oh, okay.
So that's it. So the cover is actually, I want to say it's kind of like an homage to the movie, the Japanese version of the movie poster. You know, each country when the movie goes and plays, they put it, they put their own poster out.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I want to say this was like the Japanese version of the poster. So I gave it to the guy and I said, "This is kind of the idea. This is kind of where I want to go with it. Can you just, change it up some so it's not like a rip off or nothing like that?" But that's what it was inspired by.
Wow.
And then like I started watching the movie a bunch. So
I
then
haven't
like
seen
I
it in a
was
while.
so yeah, so I was hearing certain sounds within the movie
Mm-hmm.
that I kind of wanted, like, okay, so I kind of want the beats to mimic that sound, like but without using that stuff in the
That's that.
movie.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it just kind of started taking shape. And then I would just, I'd just send out, I had the beats. I was like, "Do you like this one?" With Way of the Gun, see, Way of the Guns and Gun. Although I was proud of Guns Control, I wasn't as hands on's not a good word because of course I was hands on, but I let the MCs more pick the beats. I would just give them a batch of beats,
Okay.
and they would pick out of it. This time, I narrowed the choice down to like one or two beats, but they were beats I definitely wanted to use on the project.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like if they weren't going to pick that one beat, somebody was going to use somebody was going to use that beat for something on the project. And that's kind of how this kind of formulated that way. And then like the intro, I if you're a hip hop head, you know that intro is almost the same intro that was used on Fuji's The Score. I mean almost word for word, but just you using our verbiage to describe that, but it does the same kind of thing right in the beginning. That's where I got the idea for it.
Yep.
Was listening to Fuji's The Score. And I like
And
how that one was kind of like how like a movie
mm-hmm.
when you listen to it. So that was kind of like that would be besides the movie, listening to Fuji's The Score. So I was kind of just listening and kind of like that was the vibe I wanted to get. So that's kind of just like how it kind of morphed into that.
And Shade's voice was perfect for that.
I
Tell us how that came to be, because trust me, at first I didn't realize it, and then when I did the interview with Shade and the Bad Seed recently, I was like, yo, this is dope. This is perfect.
last minute, I was looking for someone to do the intro.
Uh-huh.
I didn't have nobody. I was gonna have Poe Mac do it, but I was like, you know what? He's already been on the out. I didn't want to have his voice. He was already on it, a couple. He was already on it a couple of times. So I was like, I want to get a different voice,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to get a voice that maybe not necessarily a rapper, but somebody with like a dope, distinct voice. And me and Shade, we just been building, 6-man stuff. So, I just hit him up. I was like, "Hey, do you have recording capabilities at your house?" And then this was like 2 days before the record was done being mixed.
Wow.
And he was like, "Yeah." He was like, I was like, "Yo, can you do this?" I was like, "I'll just send you." I said, "This is exactly what I need, just word for word." I sent it to him. He just knocked it out, sent it over. It was perfect. Yeah, man. It just literally, dude. I was getting that record mixed up to the time that Poe had surgery the day before. Yeah, broke his foot. I mean, I was going over to his spot, watching him mix the records. This man's He's a trooper, man. Dude was in excruciating pain, sitting in his basement for 4 and 5 hours at a time, mixing my records, man. I, I can't thank him
He's
enough.
amazing,
But
man.
yeah, hey man, to like until I was done with the record, which was probably 2 weeks ago,
Hmm.
2 weeks before I put it out. Yeah, I ain't been sitting on it long, man. It was definitely up to the last minute. And there was like a couple records that didn't make it because I didn't get the songs back in time. That's why I said I'm probably gonna put out another one here because I th- the song I was waiting on the most, it didn't get to happen.
Still sound like a
And
complete album.
and I think and the song and I think the song it's gonna be the perfect for me to jump off the next project. But I
Hmm.
think it would have been the best song on this album. That's why I was mad it didn't
Oh,
make
okay.
it.
Hmm.
And it it was yeah. I'm just gonna sit on it for a minute, man, and just I'm still waiting for it to get done, but
Hmm.
I think it's gonna happen.
It'll happen in the right time. It'll be
I hope
released in the
so.
right time. Yep.
I hope so because I think it's gonna be a dope record.
That's ill. Ill.
Yeah.
Now, every once in a while, I like to do this, and I think this is a perfect project to do this. Let's go track for track, talking about the creation of it. We already talked about the opening credits with Shay Cobain. So let's go into the first song on here, Don't Speak, featuring Bronx Own, Cortona P.
Yeah. Oh man. Dude. He killed every I the last two the last 2 to 3 projects, I had just got familiar with his work. Probably the last, just before, just before I got into Six Man, I started listening to Cortona's stuff,
Mhm.
and he's got a good ear for beats.
Yes, he does. Yep.
So, and he really, you got to really listen to him, man. It's like I be studying his raps. That dude, he just bars out, man. Very dope. So I sent him the record. He probably got it back to me probably in a week. He works fast. I love people that like I said, this record came together pretty fast. It wasn't something that everybody sat on for a while. I think everybody got their beats 2 to 3 months ago,
Hmm.
and it came together, which is very unheard of. Usually, it takes people forever. Some, there be beats people have been sitting on. I've got beats of some of the Umbrella guys. I've been sitting on them for over a year, man. I ain't heard nothing about them.
Wow.
Wanted them and then didn't hear nothing about them. It's been a year.
Mm-mm.
So but yeah, but like, yeah, that's a good thing about Six Man, man. Everybody's on top of their stuff, man. All you gotta do is ask, and they're like, yeah, no problem. When do you need it by? But yeah, like that was like Cortona's lane, man. He's more of an up tempo guy.
Hmm.
So it was just like he was like, hey man, do you got something up tempo? I sent him the record, killed it, and I knew when I heard it that was gonna be the first record because I just wanted to off that intro. I just wanted something to just be hard, a lot of energy, like it just smacks you right in the face. So it's like it had to be that record to be the first. That had to be the first record.
Mm.
Yeah. So
And
yeah, that definitely was like I said, he did that beat justice. Everybody did, man. It's like
everybody did. I agree with that.
yeah, that is it. I mean, they say the beats are dope. I take their word from them, but it was everybody else that did their thing that made the record what it was. I feel
Definitely. You, you
mhm.
you laid the groundwork, but like you said before, you gave each artist a certain amount of tracks, just not a whole flood of just pick these. And I feel that being that your ear with MCing, you already knew when you created these tracks which artist would fit.
Oh yeah, that was like that was like I said on this project. I was very focused on how I knew I wanted it to sound, and I didn't want I wanted the songs that people do best. If like if you're a person that bars out, you know what I'm saying, and you just about bars. That's what I want you to do on my record.
Mm-hmm.
On Gunz Control, I had people that did that, and then it was like they decided to go left, and then give me a record that is what they're usually not known for. So kind of like some of the songs I was a little disappointed in that aspect. On the first project, I wasn't gonna let that happen on this one. I more that's why I wanted to more take the reins this time.
I get that. Yeah, you definitely. And I feel that even though you have the family on here, it's definitely a Van Gunz album featuring every MC that you have on here.
Yeah, I think so. That's how I like to look at it. I think so too, and I think it's because of the way I approach this one. I like I approached this how I would approach like if I did a whole project with one person, like the Mountain God stuff. I almost approached this like even though it was like one song with each person,
Yeah,
it was like I had to make sure that I was holding up my end on that one song on that song. So you knew it wasn't just them rapping over my beat. It was like our song. If that makes sense. Yeah, if that
yep,
makes sense.
it
Yeah.
does. Yep, yep. And then you had the so smooth, slow tempo track 3, Rainy Days, with Brooklyn's own Trix Diamond, who just dropped the album yesterday, The Dark Side
Yeah.
of the Moon.
Dope project. Yeah, I actually tried to get him to rap on something else at first, and he had already rapped on that sample before.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was like, well, then I sent him Rainy Days, and he was like, yeah, man, this is the one. And then like I said, I think it took him about 2 weeks to record and send something back.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, man, and I was just like, dope. It's like everybody understood the assignment. Nobody mailed it in. That's the biggest fear when you do things like this. Is somebody's gonna mail it in on you. Like if you're an MC and you like work with someone and buy a verse off someone,
Uh-huh.
the worst feeling is when you buy a verse off someone and they're just like doing it for the money, so they mail it in on you, and you just get like a subpar verse. Well, when you're a producer and you're asking people you work with, and then some of these people like a lot of the 6 man, it's the first time I worked with a lot of them. Like that was the first record me and Jux Diamonds done together. So I didn't I knew he was he was very dope,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't know how our chemistry would be. I think it came out extremely dope. So I was very happy. Like like I said, like with everybody. And 6 man, Seed was the only one I worked with previously. So now this is like my first go around with everybody now. And I couldn't be happier. It's just like everything just fit. I'm very proud of this record, and I'm a very harsh critic on myself, and I don't. I'm very hard on myself when it comes to things.
Hmm.
I won't say I'm a perfectionist, but I know how this album came out how I wanted it, how I heard it, which is very rare.
Yeah.
So and people seem to be digging it, man. And I just like to me, it's not about the money. I could have sold, that's why I say it's for free. You could go download it on my Bandcamp. You could hit me up. I'll send you a copy. It's on the streaming services. I just want everybody to hear it, man. I just want as many people to hear it as possible. I make money. I go to work 8 hours a day. That's how I make my money.
Right.
This here is for release. And don't get me wrong, I wouldn't mind making money from it, but this wasn't the purpose for this album.
All right. And if anyone is listening, you still can contribute whatever you feel like it.
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, you could donate. I ain't gonna turn it down, but like I said, I ain't pressuring nobody. I ain't trying to sell it, man. You can go on Bandcamp, download it. If for some reason you can't get it off the Bandcamp, or some people just don't like dealing with Bandcamp, you can just DM me, man, and I'll just email it over to you.
Absolutely.
No strings attached. I just enjoy people listening to it, man. That's the high to me, man. Is people just complimenting the records, man.
Oh yeah.
That may sound shallow or whatever, man, but that's what it's about for me, man. It's just the recognition.
And the radio play, because I noticed "Don't Speak" has been getting played a lot.
Oh yeah, it's starting to make the rounds. It's starting to make the rounds. But I've been lucky with a lot of the records I put out. A lot of them they've been picked up by. Like I've had Static Selector play my stuff before, Tony Touch, Premiere, Eclipse. I've been lucky in that regard that I've produced some good records that a lot of people have liked and put up and picked up. But like I'm really interested to see what this album's gonna do.
Yeah, I'm definitely. This week I gotta say it's good to see the post of the track list. What radio shows have been playing and seeing your name up on there.
Hey man, I appreciate every last one of them, man. And I'm one of these guys. I'll tell you, and six man don't know. I get up early, man. I'm up by 5:30 in the morning. So Monday morning. 9 times out of 10, I'm the one in the 6-man group man chat posting the track listing for Raps Out of Control to see which one of us has been on it this week.
Uh-huh.
I'm like that. That's my thing. I like posting all that stuff. I look for it. I hunt for it. That's the high for me, man. It's just like, oh man, they played my record last night. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate every. I don't know. It's for me, that's just like a big thing. I enjoy it.
Nah, it has to be a big thing. This is what you're working for. Now,
Yeah.
Especially coming from the names that you mentioned, for them to be playing your music, gets no better.
Oh, I know. Believe me, I don't take it lightly.
Shout out to NJ the AK. He just copped your album off the Bandcamp.
Man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Tell him, hey man, tell him if he follows me on IG and DMs me, I'll send him something else.
Okay.
I'll go. Yeah, you can follow me at Van Gunz Music, and yeah, man, just tell him to DM me, and I'll send them a copy of Gunz Control or something.
All right. I'll put your Instagram link in the comments.
Nah, that's what's up.
Now we are on track 4 of Way to Gunz. That is Shooters Shoot. with Honey De Niro and Cuts by Tone Spliff. I think
Uh,
she's one I think people are still sleeping on it, and they really shouldn't be by now.
oh, I know, definitely. She's. I mean, that's the first. That's the first female I produced for. Female MC, and I mean, I honestly, I just look at her as an MC, not a
Mhm.
female MC. Same thing with Megs. I look at Megs as a producer, not a female
Right.
producer.
Yep. As it should be. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, dope, both dope. But yeah, nah, man, she picked that beat. Like I sent the. She was another one I tried. I think I sent her a different beat, and she had rapped on, and she had rapped on that sample.
Hmm.
And I think it was a sample Meg's flip, but she flipped it different than I did. But it was so then this was like the second record I sent her, and she was on it right away, and she jumped on it right away, man. She was like, "Yeah, this is the one." So that came together, and then I I was watching videos on YouTube and saw the girl and saw Seven the Genius. That's who that's the voice on the woman rapping that she did. Is that Vera Cruz song, her and Chez Noir. That's where the vocals come from.
Oh yeah.
I sent it to Tone Spliff, and he did the cuts, killed it. The funny thing is
Always kills
he
it.
hit me up today and was like, "Yo, I listened to the song and the cuts are not in the right spot." So even like he's like it's off a little bit, and I was like, oh man, I was like, I thought they were. I was like, Poe usually mixes all this stuff. He usually bangs it spot on. He's like,
Mhm.
yeah, no, they're not spot on, but they were dope. I mean, it came out dope, but I just thought it was funny that he hit me up and he was like, hey man, if that's how you like it, I know the record's done now. It's up. He goes, but yeah, but the cuts they're off. They're not in the right
Hmm.
place. So I think they're off by like a second or two.
See, and I wouldn't have known because
Nah, me
that's
neither.
dope.
I didn't notice it after listening to it, and then he was telling and he was like, he goes, yeah, man, that as he goes that's not how the reference sounded, and I was just like, oh man, and I was like, I was at that time, I had just sent the reference over to get mixed so he could hear, so Poe could hear it. I was
Yeah.
juggling other stuff at the time, but it's like, oh man. But yeah, I mean, it still sounds dope.
Yep.
It doesn't sound off to me. But he was like, yeah, there was just little background stuff. Yeah, I thought that was kind
Hmm.
of funny. Yeah.
And you've been working with Tone Split for quite some time. I know he was all over Mountain God.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Does good work.
Always. Yep.
Professional. Gets it to you in a timely manner. Always willing to work with you. He's a good dude, man. He's got a good ear. He's a dope producer too.
Yep.
Yeah, man, and I mean, he's
Work ethic.
everywhere. He's the go-to. He's the go-to in the underground for cuts.
True. True. Yep.
I mean, he's on probably that guy's probably on about 40 or 50 records a year at least.
Easily. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yep. And then track 5 with Poe Mac, Holy Water.
he actually did a different record. So I had him on. I had him on his. It was a different. It was a different record with a different vibe. And then he started hearing the records I was getting back,
Hmm.
and he was like, "Oh hell no!" He's like, "Nah, I need something harder than this. I need a harder beat than this." So like his record was done. His original record just needed a hook,
Hmm.
and it's a dope beat. And he was like, and he wanted the beat so bad, but then he's like, it was. Then he heard this. Then he was like, "Nah, I need something harder. I need something harder." So then he hears all my beats. He's like, "You still got that beat right there?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Send it over," and then he had a song on it the next day. So I mean, he got inspired by everybody else's record. That's really how it came together.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Now I want to hear what the other joint sounds like.
Yeah, dude, and I'm sure we'll finish it eventually because it just like I
Uh-huh.
said, it just needs a hook. It was just like I just think he heard everybody was just spitting so raw, and he was like, oh man, I can't have like the softest record. He tell you, he goes, I can't have the softest record on this thing. I said, hey man, that's the advantage of hearing everything and knowing, and knowing everything I got in the catalog and the stash,
Right.
beat wise. So he was like, oh, you still got this beat? I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, send that over. Cause I'll tell you that the beat, the Holy Water beat, that originally was I originally did the Hundo remix to that, the last
Oh,
song, but it didn't sound good. It like JB's verse didn't sound right on it. That's why I had to remix it again and
okay.
use that last beat. But yeah, that's another inside one. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, you getting the inside gems too on this one. Yeah,
And then we have the Bad Seed on Turn Back Clocks.
he picked that beat right away. I think I sent him, like I said, I sent everybody like a little bit. It was like 2 to 3 beats in the batch.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like how I did before where I was sending 6 7 beats at a time. And I sent him that beat, and I want to say the one Honey used. I think because I did them around the same time, and I sent them, and he picked that one. I mean, dude, he was just he man. As soon as he heard it, I knew he wrote this. It took him a little time to lay the song because, like most of the people on this record have like recording setups in their house. He
Yeah.
doesn't. He goes to the studio. He's
Mm-hmm.
still OG. Goes to the studio, pays the studio time, engineer. So it was like, so I had to wait for him to record it. But I remember he spit the verses to me. He did, on in the chat, in the chat he recorded it, the verses, so I could hear it. I mean, it's a lot of stuff a lot of stuff he was dealing with, man. And it was just I I like that both records we've done haven't been bar out records. They've been, this one's is like, even like on when he was on Gunz Control and did a song called Love.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't nothing like what you would hear on like a Four Finger Ring 3 or nothing like. And this was kind of like the same way. It was more, you know, he Duke can rap. We know that,
Yeah.
he's an MC's MC. But I like that he took a different route with this, because it also, it broke up the monotony of the records. It was different, and it just, dude, it's just like another chamber, dude. I mean, he's an excellent storyteller. He draws off his life experience.
Mm-hmm.
It was very dope record, man. I couldn't have been happier. That's what all the records. It's like I couldn't be happier when they send them to me, because it was like, oh man, this is better than I even thought it was gonna turn out. It was like, because everybody, with everybody doing their hooks, because you never know. I honestly thought I was gonna. I honestly thought I was gonna be like, I'm gonna have to get Tone Swift, do like 6 scratch hooks. Because I didn't know if people were gonna do hooks on their songs or not. Because I was just happy to get one verse from people,
Mm-hmm.
and then they did whole songs. Like I at first I thought I was gonna just get a bunch of one versers back and have to piece everything together. And that wasn't the case. Everybody was like, "Nah, I'll do a whole song."
Complete. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what really makes it,
Probably what made it more cohesive too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Overall, yeah.
Yes.
Yep. And the way Seed is vibing The way where you started out, where you build it up in the beginning, the first few seconds, and he's vibing with it, and then he just goes into his verse.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I know, dude. He's like a rap machine. He's literally like the rap Terminator, man. That's the only way you can describe it. He's like a machine, man. This dude, just the amount of music he's done put out in the last couple of years, and everything is top notch.
Every
You don't
single
listen to it and be like, oh, he mailed in on this project. Nah, dude,
every time.
e-
Yep.
even the features, like he even has like you could tell he has the mentality when he goes into features. Oh, I'm gonna kill you on your own record.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dude. A lot of people don't do that when they do features. A lot of people just mail it in, man. You'd be surprised. I've seen some of the dopest rappers put the worst features on records. And paid features.
Paid, yeah.
Yeah, that's you know, I get it to a point because they're like, I'm gonna do the feature. I'm not gonna promote the record or nothing. He doesn't do that, man. This dude will put. He's gonna bar out on it. He's gonna promote the record too, man. He'll share the record. A lot of these people, they just doing it for. You never hear from them again. They act like
Right.
they don't know you after after you send them the Cash App or the PayPal. You know, they do that. You send them the money, they send you the record, and it's just like,
And that's it.
I didn't remember I did that.
Mm-hmm.
Not him, man. This dude, he remembers everything. He kills every record, man. It's just machine. His Terminator.
You know, and it's like performing on stage or DJing. You know, it doesn't matter who's there, how little a crowd there may be. You still put in that same effort, and that's what he does every single time.
Exactly. That's a good analogy. I like that. Yep.
Coming up next, you had the joint Liar, Katrina P, XL, and Honey De Niro.
Now that record was actually that's the one record that wasn't even supposed to be on this project. It was supposed to go on the 6-man group project. Well, not group, but you know, the 6-man compilation.
Yeah.
But it was kind of at the time, it was like I had like 2 or 3 other records that I wasn't getting back in time, and I knew that record was sitting there, and I knew the compilation was going to be on hold for a little while. So I was like, "Hey, are we doing anything with this record?" And I wanted a record that had, you know, this is this is the only record that has 3 MCs on it. So I always want to at least put one of those records on my projects, and I wanted it to be all 6-man. So it just kind of worked out perfectly. And like I didn't even hear the verses until they sent me the record, and that was the last. That was like the second to last record I got. So I didn't hear it, and I just heard that the song was dope.
Mm-hmm.
I was just told the song was dope. I never heard it. They were just like, "Oh man, everybody did their thing on this." I'm like, "Man, I didn't even know who was on the song."
Wow.
I was like, "Just send it to me." Yeah, so they sent it, got it mixed, everything turned out dope, and it was like,
that was definitely unexpected.
yeah, it had XL on it too. See, I was trying to get XL and Mo Ruckus on a record together, and it didn't work out. That was one of the records that didn't work out, but I knew I wanted XL on the record. So I was glad that he was on this, so he was able to make the record, man, because that was like a big thing.
It is. Wow.
Yeah.
And I think there's only actually, not including Il Po because they are a duo, there's only 2 tracks on there where you have more than one MC.
Yeah, because there's Il Po, yeah, they're a duo, and then there's a track with Katona and Poe, and then the Liar joint. Yep.
Next, you had track 8, Hats off. With Riley's own Jamal Matters.
That's my guy right there, man. I it's just something about him. I don't know. Very humble dude,
Mm.
very good guy. And when you meet him, it's like, but just it's just something about the way he raps, man. It's like he just knows how to put. He's a dude who just knows how to put words together.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
It does. And I want to ask you this question since you work with him, because when I listen to him rhyme, I feel like this is the same way he speaks with people in person.
Yeah, yeah. I never noticed that till you said that. But yeah, he the way he raps, it's like very conversational.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I can see how you can make that connection. But man, dude, he's just scratching the surface. Like his best work's to come, I believe. I think he at least has another gear or two he's gonna kick it into.
Yeah,
And this project he just put out, penmanship, excellent,
I recently heard that. Yep.
Yeah, excellent project. But I still think he has like another gear or two he's about to hit.
And then next up, Seven the Panther on Soul Glow.
My guy. Like, dude, we've done. I've probably done at least 10 shows with this guy, at least. I'm probably even being generous at that number. I think that's probably low. It's probably closer to 20. Whether I DJ'd the show, both rapped on it, it's some kind of combination. And he's a really good guy. If you talk to him, he's very he's a dude. That guy has so much rap respect in the state of North Carolina. Like, there's a lot of people that go around. I don't know how familiar you are with North Carolina rap. Of course, you got Little Brother, so you got Fonte. But it's like, Superstition.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, when you hear them guys talk about Seven the Panther, like he's upper level. Like him, I want to say him and Superstition used to be a group together back in the day. Like way back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Seven and Super, yeah. But
ask him.
yeah, but like when you talk to Ilpo, and they meant you and they top bar spitters
Mm-hmm.
in North Carolina, everybody mentions Seven the Panther, man. Dude has so much rap respect, but he's like the most humblest dude.
He is, yeah.
Like when you talk to him, it's like he goes around, like when he's in rapper mode, you see the ego come out. But like when you talk to him and every day, I still don't think he realizes how dope he is, and that's scary. And verses are easy. Like the verses for him are easy. I'll tell you that. I will tell you this: that the beat that for that song, that wasn't the beat he rapped on. He recorded on.
Oh, really?
So yeah, it was a whole nother beat. I liked the beat and I liked the raps he did, but I didn't like the beat and the raps together because the beat was it was more like a North Carolina sound, more like a soul sound. So it kind of wasn't like fitting with these songs, but the verses was so hard. I said, "Oh man, I'm gonna remix this." So I do that with a lot of stuff. Like they're not remixes because the first time they'll come out is how you hear them, but I do that with a lot of Poe Mac stuff too. It's not there'll be a lot of times it's not the original beat that it was originally intended to be. I'll just go in and be like, I think I hear something better. And then I'll just go back and rework the beat and do something different. But that was one of those. Yeah.
But that's to be respected because with your production talents, I mean, look what you gave us on that track. And us, the fans that are listening to this final product, have no idea what that original sounds like. But Soul Glow, that's a banger.
I know, but if you listen to the name, it's called Soul Glow. That's what I named the beat because it was just like a soul sample. Like I said, it sounds like something that could have been off the Little Brother to Listening or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the type of sound it was. And he like he was another one that I got late, and that was just because I already knew we had the project we were doing together because that had been in the works for a while. But I was like, man, I gotta get him on this. I said, man, I hit him up. I was like, man, I just need it back in 2 weeks because it was already running late. He was like, man, say less.
Mm-hmm.
Got it back to me in a week. but that's just how we work. So me and him. So
Yep.
yeah. And the project that me and him are gonna do will sound nothing like this. The beats are totally different. So that would be another one where it has its own sound.
Okay. And
yeah.
Again, that's one of your talents. I was saying before, none of your projects sound exactly the same. So it's like a unexpected question mark anticipation for the fans of what are we going to get next from Van Gunz.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, that's how That's how I intend them to be anyway.
And then track 10, Hefty Bags, with Cortona P and Poe Mac. When before you talk about this track sounds like something that I would hear from Wu-Tang. That's just my personal opinion. It sounds like something that, Wu-Tang members would be spitting over.
Okay, now this was the first record that Cortona rapped on for me. He just did the verse. I didn't know what I was going to use it for. I was just like, "Hey man, at the time he was like, "Hey man, I'm available to work on some stuff." He was in the 6-man chat. He was in our group chat. He was like, "I'm not working on nothing right now for a little bit. I kind of want to stay sharp. Anybody got anything they need me to get on?" I said, "Yo, let me send you something."
Mm-hmm.
So I sent him that, and then I just sat on it. I think he did that at the top of the year. I want to say, I wasn't even thinking about a project. I just was like, I'm just gonna send you something to rap on, and then we'll figure it out later. So I sent him that, and then it was like, I sat on it for a while, and then, like I said, I was missing records. There was couple of records I was supposed to get done that didn't get done in time. I was like, I got this here. Poe heard it and liked it. He was like, man, I want to put a verse on it. I'm like, go ahead, man. And he did that. And then it was like, Poe had did a hook to it. And I didn't like it. Well, I wasn't a fan of the hook.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, and I don't want to get another scratch hook. I was like, I like that I just had the one scratch hook on this record. I didn't want to go scratch heavy on this one. I was like, but let's put samples in. So that's that's how we came up with that. And then he was like, oh man, this thing needs a name. And I was like, oh man, I'm just gonna call it Hefty Bags. And he was like, wow, I was like, because y'all just dumping on people. Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, that's dope. That's dope. I like it. So that's how that just became Hefty Bags.
That's dope.
Yeah.
And then the last track, we got the remix of Hundo with Greensboro's own Ilpo.
Yeah, I definitely wanted them on the project. But I knew they were working on something else at the time because they're about to put out a record, I believe. It wouldn't surprise me if this record comes out in the next week or two. Don't quote me on that, but I have a feeling it's getting there. I'm just seeing. I just know how they drop records. It's like the buzz. I know they got a show coming up Saturday Wouldn't surprise me if they do a lot of new stuff, and it wouldn't surprise me if the record drops Saturday, and they're not saying nothing yet. I don't have any inside information, but I just know how they work, and that's just where it seems to be aligning right now, and I hope so. I'm a big Ilpo fan, but I was like, I wanted them to get on the, I wanted them to get on the record, but it was just like I knew they were kind of busy, and I don't want to. I just knew they were busy, and I didn't want to. I didn't really get a chance to chop it up on them and talk to them. Last time I seen them was in May. They came up here for a show in May. So, and I was just, I thought this record was going to be done in May because that was the original plan, was for me to have it done before I went to go up to Richmond and do that festival up there, but it didn't come together. So I thought I had already missed the opportunity. That's why I remixed this record, because I wanted them to have representation on the record.
Mm-hmm.
Then I let them hear it, and he was like, "Oh man!" I let JB hear it. He was like, "Oh man, we could have did something fresh for you." I was like, "Man, I just wish I had more time." But I was like, we'll probably get in the studio here soon, because I'm gonna get him on the next record and do a new record for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. And here we are, speaking on the new album, Way of the Gunz by Van Gunz. I definitely like you giving us that in-depth on each track like that. Sometimes I think an album is worthy of that, and this is one of those that, having you on here to speak on it is definitely, something to get those type of details, because that intrigues people, and it also makes them want to know more about you as a producer as well. So if they haven't heard Way of the Gunz yet, definitely go check that out.
I definitely appreciate it, man.
And we're not done just yet. This is also the second project you released with Gunz in it, and your name has it. So give us your origin of Van Gunz.
All right. This is a shout out to E the Mad Assassin. I used to DJ under the name DJ Van Gundy. I was a big Knicks fan, Jeff Van Gundy, the coach from the '90s Knicks. So I used to be a big I run into E the Mad at a show in Carolina. He just goes, "Yo, Van Gunz, what's up?" Didn't think nothing about it. I thought it was dope. So then I was like, man, probably about 4 or 5 months later, I just shortened it, my DJ name, from Van Gundy to Van Gunz, just because off of what he said. Then I just ran with it ever since.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Shout out to either Mad Assassin.
Hell yeah.
That's dope. Now with a dope album like this, and knowing how Seed is with visuals, any possibility of a music video?
Oh, I could tell you Don't Speak's getting one for sure. Turn Back Clocks, I know is getting one for sure. Those two I know are definitely happening. Don't Speak will be, that one's coming soon. The Turn Back Clock's probably a little bit later, but I know this one's coming soon. Probably within the next week and a half, I would say. Don't Speak's gonna happen. Holy Water definitely would have had a video until this guy broke his foot.
Mm-hmm.
We'll probably still work some kind of visual out for it. We'll work around the foot if we have to. But yeah, I'm sure we'll still get something for that. So that's 3 videos right there. I'll talk to Seven, see what he got going on. He likes to shoot videos.
Nice.
If it was up to me, every song I have a video. I do have cover art for every song. So every song has its own cover art, and I'll start throwing those up randomly. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, there'll be and there'll be like other like official videos. I know I'll have 2 for sure, which is gonna be Don't Speak and Turn Back Clocks. Those will definitely have official videos. But I'll have content videos for the other songs too. Might just be like 30 seconds of content with the song playing something that goes with the song. I'm still working out the details on that end. But Don't Speak video is coming soon. It's an AI video put together by Bad Seed. He's been killing those lately.
Yep.
I've seen the stills are crazy. So I think the video is going to turn out really dope.
Dope.
Yeah.
Now, being that you said you have cover art for every song, are they in the movie poster fashion like the album cover?
Nah,
Okay.
not that. Some of them are, but it was like, yeah, yes, some of them are. Most of them are more just like themed off the titles. So it's like for Shooters Shoot, the cover art's the like a target you would see at a firing range. So like how you see the target, it's like the body of a person.
Yeah.
So for Shooters Shoot, that's like the cover art for that. Hats Off, the cover art's like if you ever go like a Lids or something like that, and they got the wall of hats of all the sport hats.
Yep.
So that's like the cover art for Hats Off. I just try to do all the cover art something like with the name of the song involved. Well, the only one I don't have cover art for is Soul Glow because I have no idea what the hell to do for Soul Glow. Like Hundo, the cover art's me on $100 bill. So I'm gonna start just flying them out here in the next day or two.
All right.
Just so people can see them.
Dope.
Yeah.
So can we say that this is officially your debut solo album?
I guess Gunz Control would be, but I feel like this probably more is.
Right.
Like I said, this one's a lot more cohesive.
Right.
Like Gunz Control. Don't get me wrong. It's dope. It's a dope body of work, but it was more. I was a lot more lenient on that one with everybody. It was like I'd send them like 7 beats, 8 beats. I'm like, I pick one, and then everybody, and then they did the song, and I was just happy at that time. I was just happy to be getting people to work with at the time, so I wasn't as I had like a lot of them were everybody on there. That one, everybody was just like a homeboy of mine, pretty much. People I don't work with, local people I know, this and that. So it was like, I got what I got, and I wasn't as firm as I was with this one. Like the vision, I didn't have this one was a more cohesive vision. I guess that's a good word to say, yeah. More cohesive vision. The other one was just there's a bunch of dope songs I'm gonna put together and put out. So yeah, I would say this is probably more of an official debut.
Dope. Shout out to everyone from Ilpo, Tona P, Poe Max, 7, Panther, Jamal Matters, Honey De Niro, Excel, Bad Seed, Tone Spliff, Jux Diamonds, and Shade Cobain for making Way of the Gunz a dope album.
I'm eternally grateful to every last one of them. If they need anything from me, all they gotta do is ask.
There it is.
Yeah.
Perfect, man. Van Gunz, definitely appreciate you taking the time to speak with me. And again, if anyone has not heard this or is listening to it now or in the past when it dropped on the 22nd, continue to let other people know about Way of the Gunz by Van Gunz.
I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for this.
You're welcome. And the floor is yours to give the shout outs and let everyone know where they can reach out to you.
Oh man, Instagram That's the main. That's the main thing for me now. At Van Gunz Music. That's be the easiest way. I'm just try to keep it simple, man. One place. You can just go to one place. Of course, I got a Bandcamp, vanguns.bandcamp.com. Get all my. That should have. I think that has just about everything I've done on there. I think it's missing one or two of the Mountain Gods, but I'll get them back. I'll get them up there ASAP.
All right.
And then yeah, and shout out to Six Man, Murder Megs, Shade Cobain, Freak Show, LR Blitzkrieg, Bad Seed, XO Joe, Honey De Niro, Crotona P, Excel, Mo Ruckus, BK Cashmere. Shout out my brother Poe Mac. Shout out Seven the Panther. Shout out Ilpo. Man, yeah, just everybody that contributed to this, man.
Definitely.
And everybody that's been listening and giving me feedback means the world to me, man. I appreciate y'all.
Absolutely. And always shout out Shoujo because she helped orchestrate this as well. Six Man Entertainment interview.
Oh yeah. Nah, she's the behind the scenes.
Yes, indeed.
She's behind the scenes, but she makes the engine run.
Yep. Big salute.
Yep.
And on behalf of our HHDG Media crew, we're going to say peace.
Peace out.